There is an electrical hookup outside of my apartment window with exposed wires. I've been living here for 2 years now, and that's just been a constant thing. Just reach out your window and touch this piece of metal, and everything can be over right then and there. Probably would be very painful, but over the past 2 years, I've experienced a lot of cumulative pain that probably would have been a hell of a lot more, or that is a hell of a lot more than what would have happened if I just touched that then and there. But here I am, thinking about calling 988 and just saying, like, yo, I need some help here. And in my past 2 years, I have not pushed myself to even come close to touching that wire. But I stand at that window looking down at it, recognizing that the solution to all of my problems is only a hand reach away. So if I call 988, sitting by that window, being upfront about the situation, maybe either anything would happen. Somebody would come pick me up and take me away from this wretched fucking apartment. Or, in the process of the hostage situation in which I, myself the hostage, and the hostage taker, whatever the hell, would just get triggered and kill myself. Yeah, just right then and there. Dangerous situation, dangerous play. I've been thinking about it. A lot. I've been thinking about self-harm. What I used to do to my head. It used to be normal, day-to-day basis. Hit myself as hard as possible. Now it has this rancid feeling. Kind of that feeling, that rancid, like you can't get away from it. Repulsive, but it's there. There's no getting away from it. I can't get away from my hands. Thinking I should lock myself out of my apartment. Oh, I think I have a neighbor I could give my the actual unit key to, and then call for help, because I don't want to put myself in a hostage situation to try to leverage people to get me things. I don't know. Things. I need support. Like, I can't do this. I'm gonna end up homeless. And a lot of the times, maybe that's just like, okay, you're gonna end up homeless. Good for you. We're still not gonna give you anything. Heaven forbid I call. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to kill myself because I need supports to keep some basic life necessities under my feet. And they're like, well, just kill yourself because we're not gonna give you that stuff. It's not there. Join the line with all of the other freaks that we've fucked up along the way. To us, you're already a casualty. And maybe that's what it is. I am a calculated and accepted casualty for all of this stuff that Nobody's willing to change. I feel like the Canadian mental health system is that scene from Saving Private Ryan where a medic is crawling across the beach, passing people. He's gone. He's gone. Don't even worry about him. He's dead. And that's something that I do when I'm skating around downtown. There's a new wave of drugs coming into the city. The dancing zombies. The ones so high that they dance. Dead. The ones who've ran out of energy to dance, so they curl and pull at unusual, odd angles, and they just stand there. I think about my own posture sitting in this seat, but heaven forbid standing in a posture like that for how long? Dead. How many people do I skate by on a day-to-day basis and which are going to be dead by the end of the week? I bet you quite a bit. And my triage system, I cannot help them. Systematically, the systematic triage system, when I walk into a hospital, actually triage treats me somewhat nice. You're like, oh my god, yeah, let's get you in. And then I get into the J ward of Royal Alexandria, and the nurses, it's a bit of a roll of the dice. The doctors, it's a bit of the roll of the dice, but the result ends up the same. At best, I can get 24-hour crisis support. I'll be like, okay, since you've came in, you've stabilized to a point in which we feel it is responsible for us to let you go. It's like, okay, sure. I'll go home. I'm not nearly as emotional as I was when I stepped in. I'm probably not as suicide risk like I was before. But I'm gonna go right back to this goddamn apartment and the conditions in which made me a suicide risk in the first place, and then endure until the next circumstance in which I am unable to convince myself that I'm safe. Maybe talking about it here is better, but maybe not. Either way, I know for sure I need something to happen. Something. So I don't know. I'm not calling my parents. I don't even want to call my parents to get numbers to find other people to help me, because it isn't just a typical 24-hour crisis. That's the easy stuff to deal with. That's the easy stuff. It's having to keep myself out of crisis, but not really having the tools, the emotional bandwidth, or the habit of all of this. I can't get food, I can't do my laundry, all of this stuff. I'm not capable of taking care of myself to a point in which I can stay out of this mindset of looking around me and saying everything is a disaster, because legitimately everything in which is within my control is a goddamn disaster. And I don't really think it's my fault. To be honest, I really think I was quite abused. Like, looking back, there's pretty clear puzzle pieces towards sexual abuse. And I'm glad I only have some dots to connect some lines through, because if I had the whole picture, that would be horrifying. But the emotional neglect through a hell of a lot of trauma, the inability for my support network to adapt their own behaviors as to the needs in which a traumatized autistic kid needed within its home environment. Like, just fuck them. I know there's some nuance to that statement. I can't just stick my middle finger up at everything and everyone that played a part in all of this. There's nuance. But I'm like, just fuck it. I got really hurt. It really hurt. I don't want their help. But if I stop accepting their help, as of right now, I'm gonna go homeless. And I can't be dependent on people that I think were straight up trying to kill me. People in which enabled me to hurt myself horribly, full knowing that their actions would lead to so it's either rely on these people that I may or may not know wanted me dead and supplied me the means to do so, or go homeless. So really, I'm thinking I should go homeless. Because I don't have a home. I've never had a home. I've had a box in which I've been put in. And it doesn't matter what's inside the box as long as I'm inside there and stay inside there, including all of my problems. It's when they expand outwards. It's when that I'm outside of the box becoming their fucking problem that there's problems. Not the idea that I'm self-harming every single day. No, that's not to be concerned about. Not the idea that I'm surrounded by rancid food. No, don't care. Oh, there's no dishes left upstairs. Let's abuse this guy until he... If I post this video, and if they see this video, they're gonna take it as a slight against them. My dad talked about my videos and he said, what other possible explanation is there besides you wanting to hurt us? The nuance. I can't just stick my middle finger up at my family. I can't just say fuck them and then be consumed by this idea of, yeah, I want to get back at them, because I recognize that they're all very hurt within their own senses. And I don't want to contribute to that hurt. If anything, I wanted to do better, be better. So my over-reliance on them is not ongoing contentious point of harm, or maybe I could support them in their struggles. But I think it's toxic. And I think that myself being dependent on them in any way, shape, or form is continued harm that I wanted to avoid. And I tried to avoid. I went no contact for months. I was dying and I didn't call for help. I have to do something. Because I'm scared I'm gonna hit myself. I'm scared I'm gonna make stupid decisions and choices that are not going to end up with me getting help, but just situations getting aggravated and inflamed further. But the situation as of right now is really, it's very concerning. That this home is no home. It is a very toxic place. And I'm at risk of going homeless. I'm at risk of losing my capability of making a home out of this box. Or whatever box I might be put in later. And things are going well. But not when I'm here. When I'm here, nothing's going well. If anything, I'm fighting to push the war front back just a few inches when it will recklessly seize and gain territory. So I don't know. This place sucks. The laundry machines downstairs don't work. The dryer works just enough to convince us that it is a dryer, but one load cost $3.75, and it won't dry your clothes in one load. And do you think there's any space for me to dry my clothes around here? I read the lease. Even if I did have a balcony, you're not allowed to put your clothes on a clothesline. I don't have money to clean my clothes. I don't have money for groceries. All of this stuff. This sucks. I need support, but I don't want to be put in another crazy house again. Apparently listening to a dying schizophrenic talk to herself until she starts to scream on a daily, ongoing basis is not healthy. Being surrounded by crazy people that are probably going to fall off the fucking boat is not healthy. One of the nurses that sexually abused me called it the forever house. The places that they were transitioned to when the transitional housing proved that they're not going to be able to make it on their own. And as much as my on paper needs might describe myself like that, I'm not those people. I'm capable. My bank account isn't. And no amount of quitting smokes is going to help with that. I'm talking about all of this stuff really emotionally detached from the true reality of it. And because of that hit, heaven forbid, recognize that I'm contemplating suicide. Suicide that could be completed within less than 10 feet away from me. Less than 30 seconds. This is not new. And then that spark pops up. Oh, I really want it to happen. So I should do something about this. I should do something about this. I should negate my ability to hurt myself and then call for help. So I guess that's what I'm going to do. Maybe grab a cup of coffee before I set out to do these things first. Maybe take another nicotine lozenge. I've only had half today. Hopefully by the end of this week, Friday, um, I'll just not need them. That'll be cool.